As I sit here by a blazing fire in one of Donegal's oldest public houses with just the barman and two stray fiddlers over there in the corner for company, it occurs to me that the story of Donegal and its people from earliest times really does read like a bestseller. For leading characters we have monks, chieftains, heroes and heroines, many of whom have played out their lives in this very town, with its 15th century abbey now ruined, and its impressive castle dating from the same period and restored in the 1980s. The plot? Well, the plot dips from the heights of bravery and daring to the depths of betrayal and deceit, and weaves its way from battlefield to hearth, spanning centuries. Romance and rugged grandeur are supplied by the raw Atlantic and the silent hills. The final chapters in this story are chapters of tragedy. Flight before the foreign sword and the collapse of the Gaelic order in 1607. Then flight again from hunger in the 1840s and 50s. In the wake of time, however, stand several stone witnesses, testimony to the times and peoples of bygone ages. Greenon and Aileach in North Donegal stretches so far back into time that its history has become a fascinating mix of legend and fact. The original site of this fort predates Christianity by about 1700 years and has associations with the Tuatha De Danann, the divine people of Irish tradition, who reputedly came to Ireland long before the Celts. It was believed to be a place of sun worship and may have been a place of hibernation for the sun goddess Grania. Later it became an important dwelling place for the ruling Ulster families and is said to have been visited by none other than St. Patrick himself. Less welcome visitors were the Vikings, who vigorously attacked this royal fortification in 939. The defeated Vikings later settled along the banks of the rivers Swilly and Foyle, and in time, the daughter of the King of Aileach fell in love with and married the Viking King Olaf of Dublin. O'Doherty's Keep, also in North Donegal, is younger by comparison, dating from the 1300s. Originally a Norman castle, only the keep remains today. The O'Doherty family gained possession of the keep in the 15th century. In the autumn of 1588, O'Doherty was imprisoned by the English for housing a group of soldiers washed ashore from the wrecked Spanish Armada, and the keep was torched in 1608 when O'Doherty rose in rebellion. Staying with castles, and indeed the 15th century, we come to the magnificently renovated O'Donnell Castle in Donegal town itself. The castle was built by Red Hugh O'Donnell in 1474 during the age of Gaelic supremacy. English law had not yet reached this northern stronghold, and the Irish lived by the ancient and sophisticated Celtic legal system known as the Brehon laws. 124 years later, O'Donnell's grandson, also called Red Hugh, burned the castle when he feared it was about to fall into the hands of the English. This was the same Red Hugh who, with the clans of Donegal behind him, faced and defeated the English forces at the Battle of the Curlews on August 15, 1599. Red Hugh, his world and all it stood for, would disintegrate some 3 years later after the final Irish defeat at the Battle of Kinsale. Donegal Castle was granted to a family by the name of Brooks, who added a manor house to the original building, but the castle proper lay in ruins for 386 years, until restoration work began in 1984 and was completed 12 years later in 1996. The roof of the Great Hall with its massive oak beams was restored using an almost forgotten craft.
Great wooden beams put in place, using craft grafted from another age, span on high the Great Hall. Down below the cobbles are as were. On battlement the grey eye can once again scan the blue stacks.
Well, the barman has just informed me that the rest of the musicians have arrived, so it looks like it's going to be another long Donegal night of song and story. So as the old saying goes, if you can't beat them,